Hello, very good morning. Welcome to the Mega News at 6 live and direct from our studios on MBN TV, your mega broadcasting network. My name is El Samuels. First, the headlines.
Four-story building in Osu demolished over safety concerns. In business, GIPC pitches Africa's $16 trillion market at Ghana-Belarus Business Forum. And on the international front, Malawians repatriated from South Africa amid xenophobia concerns.
Details of the stories and more coming up. And also, we live on our social media handles on MBN 360. The National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, in collaboration with Office of the Ghana National Service, Fire Service, and also the Korle Municipal Assembly, has demolished a multi-story building in Osu in the Greater Accra region after it was declared structurally unsafe following a partial collapse.
Excavators were deployed to the site on Monday, June 8, to bring down the deteriorating structure, which had been identified as a significant safety threat to residents, pedestrians, and nearby businesses. The demolition followed the partial collapse of the more than 50-year-old building on Sunday, an incident that sparked concern among residents and prompted urgent intervention by the authorities. Officials said the exercise formed part of efforts to prevent further structural failure and safeguard lives and property in the area. Originally constructed as a 7-story structure, the building had already been reduced to 4 stories after 3 floors gave way in a previous incident. The remaining structure was subsequently demolished as a precaution to prevent further collapse and possible loss of life. The exercise comes amid growing concerns over the safety of aging and weakened buildings across the capital, particularly as heavy rains continue to affect parts of the country. The Osu demolition also follows the collapse of a 3-story building at Aveno in North Kaneshie on Sunday, June 7, which left 3 people dead and others injured. Speaking to journalists during a visit to the disaster scene, Interior Minister Mohammed Montaka Mubarak said 16 buildings across the Greater Accra region have been identified as structurally unsafe and are expected to be demolished in the coming days. According to him, the government, working through the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, has assessed several buildings deemed unfit for habitation.
Now, away from the Osu story, the suspended chief executive of the Comfort North Teaching Hospital, Dr. Med Parkwesi Baidu, has appealed to striking staff of the hospital to return to duty, urging them to prioritize patient care whilst ongoing engagement over their concerns continues at the national level.
In a statement issued from the Office of the Chief Executive on Monday, June 8, Dr. Baidu expressed appreciation to staff for what he described as their show of solidarity during the industrial action, which has disrupted services at the facility. However, he stressed the urgent need for staff to resume work in the supreme interest of Ghanaians and valued patients. He indicated that management will defer further decisions and directives to the supreme wisdom of the Minister of Health and the hospital's governing board. His appeal comes amid disruptions to healthcare delivery at the facility, with patients facing challenges in accessing medical services as a result of the industrial action. The development follows the directive issued by the Minister for Health, Kwabena Minta Akando, on June 5th, instructing the board of Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital to suspend Dr. Baidu for 2 weeks with immediate effect over the announcement of a temporary suspension of emergency admissions at the hospital. The directive, contained in a letter dated June 5, 2026, stated that the CEO's decision to announce a temporary halt in emergency admissions was inconsistent with instructions issued by President John Dramani Mahama regarding the management of the situation at the facility.
From the Ashanti region, we move to the Circuit Court, where an Accra Circuit Court has remanded the bail conditions of Bono Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Kwame Boafo, popularly known as Abronya DC, after determining he has complied fully with requirements and previously imposed by the court.
On June 4, 2026, the court ordered the remand of Abronya DC in police custody after he failed to comply with the court's directive requiring him to surrender his passport as part of his bail conditions in an ongoing criminal case. But during proceedings on Monday, June 8, 2026, counsel for the applicant, Daniel Mate Ado, informed the court that all bail conditions had been met, including the surrender of his client's passport. The court subsequently sought confirmation from the registrar, who verified that the passport had been deposited on the morning of Friday, June 5, 2026. Following the confirmation, the court restored Abronya DC to his former bail conditions. However, the court cautioned the NPP communicator that any violation of the terms of his bail would result in its revocation. The ruling follows a review of the applicant's compliance with the conditions attached to his bail, with the court expressing satisfaction that the requirement had been fulfilled. The Bono Regional Chairman is currently facing a charge of false publication in a case brought against him by the state. Last month, the High Court granted him bail after he had earlier been remanded following his arraignment on the charge. As part of the bail conditions, he was directed to deposit his passport with the court.
And that's it for the major stories. We move straight to the business desk, where Ghana Investment Promotion Center, GIPC, has highlighted Africa's estimated $16 trillion market potential at the Ghana-Belarus Business Forum, urging investors to take advantage of the expanding trade and investment opportunities across the continent.
The Ghana Investment Promotion Center has made a strong pitch for increased investment into Africa, describing the continent as a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity during the Ghana-Belarus Business Forum. Officials of the investment agency told participants that Africa's combined market size presents significant opportunities in manufacturing, agriculture, infrastructure, and technology, and encourage Belarusian businesses to explore Ghana as a gateway into the wider African market. The forum formed part of efforts to deepen economic ties between Ghana and Belarus, with discussions centered on trade expansion, industrial cooperation, and private sector partnership. GIPC officials emphasized Ghana's strategic position as a stable investment hub in West Africa, noting ongoing reforms aimed at improving the business environment and attracting foreign direct investment. Business leaders from both countries engaged in networking sessions to explore potential joint ventures and long-term commercial collaborations. The forum is expected to pave the way for new investment deals as Ghana positions itself as a key entry point to Africa's growing consumer market.
Now, on the international front, authorities in Malawi have begun repatriating citizens from South Africa following rising concerns over safety and renewed reports of xenophobic tensions in the parts of the country.
The government of the Malawi has facilitated the repatriation of its nationals from the South Africa amid growing concerns over xenophobia-related tensions. Officials say the decision follows reports of insecurity affecting foreign nationals in some communities, prompting precautionary measures to safeguard Malawian citizens living and working in affected areas. The repatriation exercise is being coordinated through diplomatic channels and consular services, with returnees expected to receive support upon arrival in Malawi. Authorities in both countries are engaging on the situation, with calls for calm and respect for the rights and safety of all foreign nationals. Human rights observers have repeatedly warned that sporadic xenophobic incidents in parts of South Africa continue to pose risks for migrant communities across the region. Government says further diplomatic engagement is ongoing to ensure the protection of Malawian nationals and prevent escalation of tensions.
And as I will wrap up this morning's Mega News 6 live and direct from our studios here on the 10th Avenue Extension, Greater Egg State. But before we take leave of you, let's take a second look at the stories making headlines.
Four-story building in Osu demolished over safety concerns. In business, GIPC pitches Africa's $16 trillion market at Ghana-Belarus Business Forum. And on the international front, Malawians repatriated from South Africa amid xenophobia concerns.
The news was also live across our social media handles on MBN 360. For more news, log on to MBN 360. My name is El Samuel. Up next is a sports update. Do stay with us. Good morning.